Afternoon, everybody. This is Anthony. I got my battle buddy, Matt. Today we're going to be looking at the Penn Yan Tactical one-piece inner and outer barrel for M4 AEGs, HPA guns, and true softing in general. It's pretty cool.
Solid.
Music. Here's the deal, guys. We've known about these barrels for roughly a year now. We've been seeing them flow in and out of various people's hands, getting tested, tried out, different lengths and all kinds of stuff, and we've been really interested. So, one of the more well-known guys in the community goes by the name of Dobey. Decided to start his own company and start selling these barrels that he has been machining himself. So, what they do is they replace this thing. You don't need that anymore. They replace this thing. Yeah, you don't need that anymore either. And it just is one solid piece with the inner barrel and the outer barrel as one piece machined all the way through. So, Matt, I have not put one of these together yet. Matt has been the guinea pig slave for trying to put this together. I've just been sitting at my desk and laughing.
He's been pointing his finger and laughing at me.
That's what I did. Give us some technical specs on this here barrel.
Okay, so this is basically the first batch that has come out. These are basically our test models right now. We should be expecting them in a couple weeks at the time of the filming for this. As you can tell, this is a kind of shiny stainless steel. It will be available in a flat black, very reminiscent of just standard outer barrels, and there will be a limited batch of these stainless steel ones. Like Anthony said, it's one piece. It has combined your outer and inner barrel. This right now is the Mark 18 10.3 inch variant. It's equivalent to a 315 millimeter inner barrel, and it's a 603. It's basically a tight bore.
It's perfectly machined all the way through.
Yes.
It's actually machined to a better tolerance than everything save like PDI barrels.
Yes.
PDI barrels are the only inner barrels that are going to come close to the machine tolerances that this are. Promis aren't even as good as on internal bore as this is.
Yes, this thing is very clean. It's very, very well done. Like you just said, made in America. Has your standard 14 millimeter counterclockwise threading, so all of your flash hiders and cream-filled bananas and all that fit on there, no problem.
All your hoopty.
So basically, I'm sure what you're curious about is how the hell does this thing mount? So basically what it does is he has a little bit at the back here that sticks into your receiver is basically just an inner barrel mounted into the rest of the solid piece. And that is where it gets a little different. It still takes all standard V2 hop-ups at the moment. So your Pro-Wins, any of your standard V2 hop-ups.
G&G plastic hop-ups, BFC plastic hop-ups, Pro-Wins, retro arms.
Yep.
It all just works. It works.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, obviously, we're going to show you guys how to install this thing, because it's a little backwards from what you would normally have to do, because, you know, if it was a standard one, you just mount all of this to your receiver, and then what you would do is just take your inner barrel with hop-up, slide it in, and you're done. This you have to kind of tinker around back and forth and kind of align it and get it set to get your compression and everything set better.
Yep.
Which is what we've been kind of tinkering around with to get it done properly.
It's also, basically, it already has an enlarged window in it, as well as a side cut in it, so it is flat hop and R hop ready. Yep. So you can, whatever hop master race you feel like prescribing to, you can just go ahead and do it to this guy. The Dobey, the gentleman who makes them, like I said, he made it for both easy flat hops. Literally, you don't have to shave the bucking anymore. You can just turn it sideways, stick it on, just like an Orga. It's basically tight bore version of the Orga wide bore. And if you want to do hop-ups, or R-hops, that's what he suggests, actually, is to do R-hops. Me, I'm lazy, so flat hop all the way.
Yeah.
But it's ready to go out of the box. It is all stainless steel. So it does have a substantial weight to it. This is only a 10.3 inch barrel for like a standard CQBR Mark 18. It is 1.2 pounds Your standard outer barrel and inner barrel setup is going to be about 3/4 of a pound, so it's a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
Not by much. I mean, if you're whining about it, grow some man muscles.
I mean, you're not going to notice once you have it installed, and
Yeah, you'll be
you guys
fine.
all throw those accessories on your gun, so...
Yeah, you'll be fine. And they're all gonna be numbered.
Yes, they all come with a stamped number on them.
Yep. This one right here is PYT0005. That one should be 4.
Yep, we got 4 in this one. So, yeah, I guess what we'll do is show you guys how to slap one of these in.
Yep, so now Matt's going to take over, and I'm just going to make fun of him from the sidelines because he's the one that has actually put this together, and I have not.
It's not that hard.
So-
I mean, I figured it out.
So we're just going to do it. Boop. All right, guys, so now Matthew over here, he's living in this realm right in here. He's this guy. He's going to be showing you how to install and put together the new barrel system. I'm just going to be kind of hanging out and maybe narrating some stuff along the way.
It's probably just going to make fun of me for the most part.
Mostly make fun of him. But there you go.
Alrighty, guys, so we have already torn it down, but the base gun we're going to be using a Echo 1 Platinum, just a DD Mark 18. Basically, it's the gun this barrel was meant for. It's got a 10.3 outer barrel. This bone stock one, we're keeping it an AEG, so you guys kind of just get a baseline for it. So what you guys are going to need to install this guy. Basic tools. What the Magnum barrel should come with is an Allen key. This one is specifically sized for these bolts right here. Definitely going to need to keep this and save this. These are actually very critical once we get to installing. Obviously it's for a Mark 18 rail, so you're going to need the Allen key to get your mounting bracket off and everything. A flathead helps, and you'll definitely want a armor or AR tool to help with the delta ring and everything later.
Shibby.
Right. Alright, so obviously the gun has already been exploded for you for time's sake. Take it down like you normally would. Obviously you can leave, you don't have to do anything to your lower, keep it as is. For your upper, literally stripped everything out of it. It's just the upper right now. You're going to need to completely unmount your outer barrel and inner barrel. Don't need these anymore.
Goodbye.
Now, what you'll want to save is your hop-up, bucking, nub, and any of the pieces that are in it, unless you're going to do upgrade parts like a Pro-In or anything for it. But again, for sake of simplicity, just to show you guys the method straight through, we're just going to keep the same hop-up and everything that came with it. The bucking is out already. The nub is actually still installed in here for since this is a factory one, they glued it to the arm. We're not going to worry about that right now. So, what you are going to want to do first, you're going to take your barrel. You guys get a little better look at it right there. Going to take your hop-up rubber, and you want to find the little notch on there. Slide her on. Make sure we got it lined up. There we go.
Now what about adjusting the collar?
That will actually, this one has actually been pre-adjusted a little bit. This actually comes once the barrel is installed. But just so you guys get a better idea of how the collar works while it's out. Basically, where these two are sitting, there is a slit right in here that doesn't have any threading. That is your dead center alignment. So what you do basically to get the proper compression when this is installed, with your rail and everything off, obviously, so you can get access to it. With this mounted in, what you will do is take both of these out, and then what you can do is this piece right here, once you have your rings and everything mounted, this piece right here will not move. The rest of the barrel right here will. So what you want to do is one full turn, and that actually adjusts the mounting parts in here in or out. Obviously, right is in, left is out. But we will do that actually the method you're in order, so you guys don't get a little mixed up on that one at all. So we're going to, with the bucking still installed, drop. Slide our Daniel defense bracket on. Especially if you have the Madvol variant, just a heads up, that shim right there usually comes in pretty handy to keep your Mark 18 rail lined up, because it is a free float system. So just a heads up on that one. If I can get to the thread right. There we go. And this is where your AR tool comes in handy. I'm just going to hand tighten this one, obviously, because we don't have a brace or anything in here for it. Okay, so now you can see this is basically the mounted way right now. And if you can see inside, you just have your bucking sitting right there. So now what you want to do, this is the part that may take a little bit of time getting it lined up correctly, especially for an alright, so for an AEG right now, we're going to take it, you want to short stroke it, if I can get there, there we go. So basically what you want to do is get your nozzle to the fully out or closed bolt position.
Exactly. So if you have a fusion engine, it's just going to be sitting like that already.
Mm-hmm.
If you have one of these cylinder drop-in units like this ProTech right here, this Mark II limited edition purple Shazam, basically like for any of those drop-in systems, they run on the open bolt. So S&P, Inferno, Jack, this, F1.
Mm-hmm.
All you're going to do for installation is pull it out. That's that simple. Just pull it out, install, and then before you go to use it again, just push it back in.
Yep.
That way it functions properly. But for installation for this, to get your head spacing and everything done right, all you're going to do is pull these nozzles out, do all your installation from there.
Yep.
Very important.
Alrighty, so as you can tell, we're not doing anything with the hop-up quite yet. So what you're going to do, unplug the battery so I don't mess it up. You're going to mate your upper and lowers back together. Alright, so now what you will end up doing, it'll be a little difficult to see in here, we'll roll in some extra footage. Basically what you want to do is, while looking in here, you want to, here we go, we'll get around to it.
Yeah.
There we go. So basically what you're going to do, take a flashlight or something, you're going to look down through your mag well, and you're going to see if your nozzle has mated up to the hop-up bucking properly. Nice full seal, not pressed in too hard where it's smashing it, and not too far back where there's still a gap in there, which will give you a big air leak. This one actually has already been sized in. Where'd my little Allen key go? There it is. So, obviously if you get a brand new one, it may not fit perfectly. So what you will do is pop these two out. You take them completely out because you actually need to see into there to see where the alignment bracket is. And then you will take this part and spin it. One full turn. There's only one spot on there, so it's dead center. That's obviously so your bucking and everything doesn't get messed up and stays perfectly lined up. So what you want to do is go in or out according to whatever system you have. And then if you say you get it to a part where you think it's perfectly lined up and it's not on the alignment marks, just back it off to the previous one because you don't want to smash it in too far because that could cause some jamming and it won't feed. We actually ran into that issue on one of our other test models. We figured we would just go, more is better the American way. Drove it all the way in. It just didn't give enough space to feed, so having it out just a hair is a little better. So obviously this one has been sized already. So what you do then is take the two halves back apart. If you want, you can reset your lower. So then what you will do is you're going to take your hop up. Now this one will be a little easier because the nub has been glued to the arm, so it's not going to fall out. But if you are the type who don't like to glue it, or if you're installing aftermarket parts, easiest way to do it is get it placed on your arm and turn the hop up all the way off so it sits in there better, so it's not sticking up in the chamber so it could fall out easier. This one is all the way off, and if you want to keep it upside down, that also helps. What you'll do is just slide it over the bucking. Obviously, since everything is in place, the hop-up is the only variable that has been placed. Everything should just slide right in. All the wings will line up, and if you have a decent bucking or it's not whooped on, should just slide in together. Now your hop-up is good to go. Now basically, if you've seen any of our tech videos before, you notice that we always preach the barrel O-rings over the little tension springs. This entire barrel, this adjustment system, basically replaces those O-rings.
Roger that.
So basically, it's a more fine-tuned, adjustable system of the O-rings. It's a flat surface all the way around the barrel and hop-up instead of just that little spring on the top of the hop-up that they wear out, they get bent, they suck. Let's be honest. So, now that that is in, I'm gonna reset my lower. So then basically, this is at the point where it is the equivalent of your outer and inner completely installed. So then from here, you just assemble the gun as you normally would with everything installed. So that is basically it, and I'm not going to put the Daniel defense rail on because you all know how to do that already. It's just a couple bolts and some nonsense, and it's a rail. So everybody's will be different. But that is basically your install. So a couple pointers afterwards, if you have a chrono available or a decent range to test it, obviously you'll want to go do some range and accuracy tests. Make sure you got it aligned and compressed properly. This took me about 2 or 3 attempts to get it pretty much as best as it's going to get with all the stock parts in it. So, if it takes a little bit of tinkering, nothing too shabby.
Don't be afraid to do some work.
Yeah, I mean, we'll preach this again all the time. Is like, don't be afraid to, mess with stuff and learn about it. The only thing it's going to accomplish is making you a better tech in the long run, and you'll understand your system better. But that is basically the Penn Yan Magnum one-piece barrel installed.
Alright guys, so that has been a Pleb to Pro / product overview of the new Penn Yan Tactical inner and outer barrel.
The Magnum.
The Magnum. One size fits most. Feel free to check us out on all of our social media jazz. That's it, guys. See you later.
Yeah, if you got questions, anything, get them down below.
Doobly doo.
More videos coming. Some point.
Milson West videos. A couple of those.
Ask Amped will return.
Eventually, when we get ready to do it. Deuces.